GameStop, we are about to cross $28, and today's also the last day to purchase GameStop shares to be eligible to receive the dividend of warrants. This is your last call to buy GameStop at these levels. So in the past month, the stock is up about 19%, and this past week we've seen some crazy movements as we get closer to the distribution of the dividend of warrants. So if we go to the frequently asked questions of the dividend warrant, what's the last day I could buy GameStop shares and still receive the warrants? No later than the trading close of October 2nd, 2025. In order to receive the warrant dividend, that is today, make sure you buy your shares before the market close. And the warrants will be distributed on October 7th, 2025. Next week, we're about to see what happens with this stuff. No one actually knows what's going to happen. But with what's happening this week in the past month, it might be an exciting week next week. And so remember, just a couple scenarios on what could happen next week and also in the next year with GameStop stock. Just a couple scenarios, not financial advice. This is all speculation. So just for a little context, if it's your first time here, 59 million warrants. They're going to release 59 million warrants to the shareholders holding GameStop stock and the convertible note holders of GameStop shares. The shareholders will receive one warrant for every 10 shares that they own, while convertible senior note holders will receive their warrants based on their conversion ratio. So for example, if you are one of the investors offering the convertible senior notes for the 2030 notes, per $1,000 that you offered will net you 3.34970 warrants. And these warrants will be freely tradable on the New York Stock Exchange, GME, WS, starting October 7th, 2025. In a couple days, the countdown begins, guys. So what happens next week? Well, scenario one. It's about to pass 28, by the way. If you take a look at what's happening in the past week, it's been closing at a higher high every day. Monday closed above 26. Tuesday closed above 27. Wednesday, Thursday, will they close above 28? So what happens with these warrants? Well, a couple scenarios we're going to paint. If the stock price remains under $32, the probability of that happening is high in the near term, since the current price levels have been hovering around the mid-20s to high 20s range. Under $32, the warrants will remain out of the money in the next year, and it will cause these warrants to have zero intrinsic value. Think of these warrants as like a stock options that GameStop has gifted the shareholders, and you have 1 year to exercise these warrants. Under 32 will cause minimal dilution risk to the investors because rational investors won't exercise these warrants at a loss. GameStop will receive no additional capital, and pretty much nothing ever happened. Warrants will expire worthless by October 2026 if the price doesn't reach above $32. So scenario 2, what happens when it reaches $32? And this could happen at a moderate level because the retail interest has been growing and potential short covering is already starting to happen. At $32, warrants will gain intrinsic value because the stock approaches that exercise price of $32. The market makers must adjust the hedging they're doing, and early exercise becomes economically viable for people that want to exercise their warrants at $32, allowing GameStop to raise a little bit of cash. There's going to be some heightened trading volatility with the warrants, GMEWS, and also GameStop stock. Also, the convertible note holders may increase their short hedging as delta exposure rises. Now, what could happen in scenario 3? The price exceeds $32 and GameStop stock goes to the moon. What happens? This is in the money territory. The warrants will gain substantial value. The exercise price is $32, so whatever GameStop stock price is trading at, the holders of these warrants are allowed to buy the GameStop share at $32. Mass exercise of these warrants will eventually happen, potentially raising GameStop another $1.9 billion, raising their cash holdings, raising that floor of liquidation value. Dilution will occur as exercising happens, but it would be offset by the cash injection. This is going to cause significant buying pressure as people exercise their rights, potential short squeeze dynamics, and probably some increased institutional arbitrage opportunities. Either way, there's going to be some extreme volatility with GameStop stock and also the GMEWS warrant. This could be a significant wealth transfer to the people that own some warrants. This could cause some market impacts. This could cause the markets to get messy. Possible regulatory attention. Remember, the short sellers must deliver these warrants. It's going to be an additional cost that they have to worry about. Pressure to cover their short positions before the record date or warrant obligations. What happens if the warrants become expensive? They have to worry about that. The 59 million warrants that they are about to distribute is about to create a whole new asset class. The expectation of exactly 59 million warrants could reveal some synthetic shares or some naked shorts. It could all show their positions, and some brokers may even face some liability for phantom warrant positions. And so in conclusion, the GameStop dividend warrants that are about to happen is about to create a complex web of scenarios. Again, at $28, warrants are out of the money, but we have about a year to be able to exercise these warrants, and that year provides us ample opportunity. for value realization. The success of these warrants and the success of GameStop stock will all depend on how GameStop's ability to execute their strategic vision and maintain investor confidence in the long run. Again, guys, this is your last day to be eligible to receive these dividend of warrants. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching this short little video. GameStop to the moon.